Welcome to Norto podcast. It's Ben and this is Dan, and we're going to talk about Invincible season 4.
Yeah, so I think it was a couple of weeks ago. Season 4 finally was released. A few episodes been releasing weekly, haven't they, Ben?
Yeah.
So me and Ben are going to talk a bit about like the episodes that have come out thus far, and some of the what's happened, some of the key players, and maybe just talking a bit about like the season in general. And we'll try and talk a little bit about spoilers, but we're going to do that more at the end, and we'll try and talk a bit about that in the spoiler section. But so let's talk a bit about episode 1. Like what happens in like episode 1.
It's just can't really catch my memory, but it's a lot going on.
Yeah, so I think to help you, the first thing that kind of happens is like it's the aftermath of the conquest fight with Mark, and just the city trying to repair itself and fix everything up, and Mark is obviously still recovering from the conquest fight. He's got like a plaster on this arm, a plaster on this arm, and then he's got like a plaster on one of his legs where Conquest chopped his leg. But yeah, it was a fairly brutal, like, you know, and then like the episode as well, like it shows you a lot of like the I guess the anger from all the people.
The anger of, you can tell Mark looked like he was going to turn like his dad for a second.
Yeah. And even I think that there are moments in that episode that he does like just let go and just
turns like his dad.
Yeah, it just makes that quick decision of I'm just going to kill this person.
Yeah.
No questions asked. But I think there was one where like what I was going on about that point was the civilians are starting to kind of look at the superheroes as a nuisance because they're constantly always destroying the place they live. So it gives you that aspect of that from the civilians' point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mark and Eve they're going alright as well. They have dinner with Eve's parents, and that's a bit awkward for Mark.
You know, their family's a bit douchebags.
So what else happens, Ben, in that episode? What is one of
the funny thing, Dinosaur fights Mark.
Yeah, and he says a lot of stuff to Mark, and Mark kind of
lose the troll.
Yeah, and then the mind-controlling alien comes back in the episode 1, and they have to try and get rid of it.
Yeah.
And Mark makes a decision just to kill the host instead of just removing it. Like he just kills him.
But I think something's gonna go down there in that path. They're gonna come back, I think.
Yeah, there is something that does spoil because there's a part of that episode where Eve is trying to use her powers and she can't use her powers, but I won't say what happens because we'll kind of come back to that in the spoiler section. But what happens in episode 2? Can you remember?
It's not really about Mark, it's really about Omni-Man and Alan.
Oh, that's right, in their backstory.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's right, they talk a bit about Omni-Man's backstory.
It's pretty funny because they're like an old married couple pretty much. Yeah. But they get along, but they're old.
They're funny, they play off well with each other, like Omni-Man being serious and Alan being a bit goofy.
Yeah.
And it's good, I like their dynamic, I like how they work together as a team as well. They're pretty funny like that.
It was a funny episode actually.
Yeah. I'll have to re-watch it. I think I only watched like maybe half of it. And I ended up going to bed because I was really tired.
Yeah.
What about episode 3?
What did happen in episode 3?
Yeah, because I watched episode 4, but not 3.
Was it the dragon guy?
Oh yeah, that's right. And isn't it? Yeah, that's when Mark was about to lose his shit as well.
Yeah,
it?
and I think the gang is gonna come after him. I don't know when, but that's a spoiler by the way. That's they're gonna come after him.
Yeah, so I think that kind of tells that story of like I think what they're doing in some of these episodes is setting up the future villains in future episodes.
Like side villains and be the main villain.
Like they do that in the episode 4 where Mark makes a little detour to hell and then helps out this... I can't remember what his name is, but he's like a detective, but he's like a demon. And he's been coursed... He was coursed with trying to figure out what happened to the Guardians, and then he basically finds out, and then Cecil was like, well, you're back to hell with you, and then he comes back, and then he has Mark helping with some stuff that's in hell. But I think that sets up for something that's going to happen later down the track where they might meet another villain.
Yeah.
Possibly. I don't know.
There's so many villains in season 4. They twists and turns.
There's not a shortage of villains in Invincible. If you kill a bunch of them, a bunch of them just spawn.
Come back.
Yeah. They come back.
Only one that hasn't came back is the multiverse dude.
Yeah, is he actually dead though?
I don't think so.
Oh, right. So maybe they might be setting him up for later.
In season 5 or something.
But the biggest episode by far though, I would say, is episode 5. A lot happens in that episode. It's actually quite a pretty quiet episode to start with.
Yeah. But
then we discover later down the track, and we'll probably get this into the more spoiler section, but basically a lot of things happen, and basically it is now up to Mark to go and take on the Viltrumite Empire, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take on Frag and all the...
Conquest comes back.
Yeah, that's
he escapes.
Yeah, so we might as well enter the spoiler section, because there's probably more spoiler stuff we can talk about. So we'll enter spoiler section. Don't want to watch the spoil. If you want to watch Invincible without spoilers, just stop here. But yeah, we're going to enter spoilers. So I think we'll go from episode 1, in season 4 was Eve's pregnant.
Yeah.
So
that's why her powers are.
That's why her powers aren't working. So she's got a little baby, but she hasn't told Mark yet, and she was supposed to in episode 5, but things happen. Yeah. But basically in episode 5, out of all the spoilers, that we could talk a bit about, in episode 1, Conquest actually does get out. He was alive, and I don't know what made Cecil and all those people think keeping him there and trying to contain him.
Work.
Oh no, it was stupid. It was absolutely foolish.
In the desert? Didn't.
And I'm surprised that Conquest didn't just go and start attacking people.
And something else happened in the desert. A mummy got possessed. There was a mummy.
Got possessed.
In, I think it was episode...
Was that in 1? Or is that a different episode?
I think it was the devil episode before he went to hell.
Oh.
One human got possessed from a mummy. Well, I don't know if that's going to be a villain or...
Maybe they're setting... What Invincible tends to do is set up a lot of villains for future episodes. So then this will happen in this episode, but then they'll come back later in some episode and be relevant in some other episode.
So many villains in season 4, it's like...
Yes, so, but anyway, Conquest then escapes, goes back to the Viltrumite Empire, basically says, make his execution quick, and then the leader of the Viltrumites, Thrag, is then reveals himself and says, no, you've got a job to do. You're going back to Dome, finish up what you started.
Pretty much looks like Cream.
Yeah.
Mercury?
Yeah.
Tom Green.
I didn't even know that. I didn't pay attention. Just to me, he looked like a more eviler Freddie Mercury. But what was it? So in that he doesn't really make much of an appearance until later down the track, where we find out Omni-Man was had told the story a bit about why he was on Earth in the first place.
Story.
Yeah, and he was there to basically populate with the humans to see if they could make Viltrumites, because their population was at risk of dying out because of because of some sort of flu.
Yeah.
Like, it's not COVID, but it's a flu that kills these Viltrumites.
I don't know how he survived that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they figured out a way to cure it. But then basically their population risk. So they sent Omni-Man to basically try and see if he could repopulate with a human and then see if that would work and be able to repopulate there. So I'm assuming then he was going to bring in the Viltrumite Empire to basically come in and start breeding with all of Earth women.
Yeah.
Essentially, I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But then basically, things happen and like that didn't happen. But then then tells Mark that he needs to come with him to go fight Frag in the Viltrumite Empire. And they had all the people from the Planet Federation all agreed to basically go, yeah, we're going to all go to war with Viltrum.
I think Frag will die in this season, not sure, but who knows.
I don't think they kill off the villain so quickly. He probably might get injured, and I feel like he probably won't. Actually, I don't even think he'll get injured. I think he'll be injuring a lot of people, because I think they're trying to set him up to be the next villain for the next season or two.
But I see in the comic, I think this is spoiler, Omni-Man fights him.
Yeah.
Frag.
Yeah, so obviously then that's something that we'll probably have to wait and see.
Beast fights him at one point.
Yeah. So obviously he fights a fair few people then. And Omni-Man, while he's strong, like Frag has been, like he's apparently one of the top Viltrumites. And so I'm assuming he's going to be very hard to fight and hard to beat.
In Conquest.
Yeah, well, Conquest, well, you don't get to see much of him in many episodes except episode 1 at the end, and episode 5 he plays a massive part, because it's basically what happens is when the ship is going to Viltrum or wherever they were going, it was going to take them 2 weeks, but they get attacked by a Viltrumite ship. Yeah. And the Viltrumite ship attacks them, and basically they're all scattered, and then it was Conquest and 2 other Viltrumites that were sent to basically come and basically go kill them all.
Yeah.
But it doesn't go in their favour as well, because I think they're all trained to fight the Viltrumites really well. And basically Mark holds his own against Conquest this time really well. But I think he learns later in that episode that you can't just punch the shit out of Conquest because it doesn't work. You won't actually win. So in this case scenario, like Conquest, he decides that he's going to just wrap his hands around Conquest's neck and just choke him out.
Yeah.
But he only does that too because Conquest was basically trying to squish Oliver's head like a melon, and that was kind of like a bit brutal. Nearly killed him doing that.
Yeah.
And then Omni-Man and Alan take on the other 2 Viltrumites, and it pretty much just shows you like they were ready from the get-go. Even the girl with the robot suit, I can't remember her name, but she does a great job at like repelling the Viltrumites as well with her suit.
Yes.
But then the other people that were on the ship, they just fucked off as soon as they started fighting them. Yeah. They were like, nah, fuck this, we're out. And it's like, it goes to show you that they were just cowards from the beginning. They were like, well, we'll just sacrifice them, let them deal with it, because they know what they're doing. But, the Viltrumites also had brought some other people with guns and stuff like that, which I thought was different.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we just can't. Maybe that's probably because they've got less Viltrumites, so they don't want to just sacrifice all the Viltrumites in one go. So they're probably thinking, here, take Conquest and 2 of you to go and like sort this out. And if you guys can't sort it out, then we've got a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. But what happens though with Conquest and Mark?
I'm not sure, but we'll find out this tonight, probably. What happened to Mark and Conquest? Yeah.
Well, I think the end of the episode pretty much shows you like Conquest looks pretty dead. Like I don't think he's alive.
No.
He looked pretty blue though. Like he looked like he'd been choked out. Like Mark, but mind you, Mark in doing that, Mark killed himself doing it because Conquest just grabbed his hand and just shoved it right in Mark's abdomen, and then started trying to bring out all of Mark's intestines, and they showed it on camera, which was brutal.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised, like, because I thought Mark could have just squeezed harder and just tried to break his neck, but I guess Conquest has got a really fat neck, so breaking his neck was probably not going to work.
No.
And Mark can't just simply just slice his hand and cut the head off of Conquest like every other Viltrumite can do. But yeah, it goes to show you, like, Conquest, like, you know, like, even like while dying, he was still able to, like, it took a while for him to die. Like, hopefully he's dead, but like Ben said, that he might not be too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that he dies, but you never know.
We'll find out tonight. I hope we.
Yeah, I think Omni-Man finds Mark, but he looks pretty bad. Like, he looks like the worst we've ever seen him since the Omni-Man fight.
I don't know if Mark lives.
Oh, he probably just.
Yeah.
Just lives, I think.
And then put the guns back.
Oh. Imagine, well, yeah, how are they going to fix him up? Like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, sorry for swearing, but yeah.
What the
like,
hell?
how are you going to grab all his intestines, put it back in him, sew him up, and then, like, well, he needs more blood or whatever. But I don't know how Viltrumites work and whether they can just restore their own blood by themselves without needing any other medical support. But I don't know. He looked pretty beaten up, but like no broken bones this time. I think.
Just guts pulled out, like Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah, pretty much. Eh?
Yeah.
It's like Conquest was like finishing, and then like just pulled out all his intestines. But
I don't know if he's dead or.
We'll have to find out. I'm pretty sure. If I had to guess, Conquest looked pretty dead.
But not Mark. I don't think Mark would
I think Mark is just alive.
Just.
Yeah.
Just.
But what do you reckon the newest episode is going to be about?
I'm not sure. I reckon Frag.
You reckon they're going to talk a bit about Frag?
Yeah,
I think they'll talk a bit about his backstory and who he is and what he's capable of, and probably how he came to be the Emperor of the Viltrumites, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then I think they've got to have a backstory to let Mark heal before like the finale of the episode, where they might bring Mark back in the final episode, in episode 8.
Probably kill Conquest again. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, that's if he's dead. Like, we'll have to wait and see.
So.
Surely like Mark would have been upset that he didn't kill him. He's like, I killed you, and he's like, yeah, you didn't, because he only really headbutted him, and while Conquest's face looked pretty mangled, it didn't look like he was dead.
Cecil's in big crap though.
Yeah, just freaking like capturing Conquest.
Because he promised Mark not keep him
alive,
and he lied.
Yeah, but he had a chance to kill him too. Like, he had a chance to stab him in the head.
Who?
Oh, I don't know, like Cecil or somebody.
Yeah.
Like, Mark was pretty beaten up after the Conquest first one.
Cecil's, I think, in big crap.
Oh, 100%.
When Mark comes back to Earth.
He's like, why did you keep him alive?
And when Mark comes back to Earth, I think Cecil's going to get beaten up.
Probably, again. But yeah, so what do you think episode 7 episode 6, do you think that's going to be just about Mark and Cecil? I mean, not Mark and Cecil, sorry, that's still a
Frag.
Yeah, just about Frag. What do you reckon episode 7 is going to be about?
Probably an aftermath.
Like, yeah, the aftermath of like
a known battle, second battle of the...
Yeah.
Like, the Viltrumites, and the Beast will show up.
Yeah, Alan, I think, and that Alan robot girl will probably kill the ship, blow up the Viltrumite ship, and that will probably trigger Frag to come in.
And who's the guy with the eye pack?
I can't remember his name, but he's
one of the leaders, eh?
He's one of the
higher up.
He's a higher up.
And the girl who in the comic, it's a bit,
Anissa. Yeah.
A bit messed up what happens in the comic.
Yeah, we might leave that one for another time, I think, because that gets into some dark territory. It's a very dark comic, Invincible, but meanwhile, like, it is a good comic. I would recommend it. It's a great show too. Like, you reckon people should still watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like animated superhero shows, this is like one you must watch because it is really good. It does take a bit to get into sometimes. Like, the episodes can be long, but it is worth it.
Not for kids though. Don't put your family.
Yeah.
Don't put little kids through that.
No. But yeah, is there anything else we should talk about?
I think that's all.
Alright. Well, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
feel free to. Oh, you do it.
Hit a like, hit below, and
Excuse me.
hit a swipe, and hope you like the video, and let me know what video you want next.
Yeah, feel free to let us know in the comment section below what you think of Invincible and other things you might want Ben to talk about next.
Well, I could talk about The Boys if you want to talk about The Boys next week.
Yeah, the newest season of The Boys is coming out tonight, so Ben wants to get into that. So we'll try and catch up and watch The Boys.
Or if you want updates about James Bond or anything, let me know.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.